Just to let you know, this is not a formal board. There's a president, vice president, it's a very loose group, and we certainly would love to see more residents in our core group, is what we kind of refer to ourselves. Okay.
Thank you.
One thing I don't want to forget, I do have in the minutes from the last meeting, a resident came up with the idea of providing the entire population of our community with meeting notes. We kind of discussed that. That's an excellent idea. Everyone should know what's going on or what has transpired. But I would be the one printing, so what I'd like to do is obviously everyone that attends every meeting will get a copy. I know you don't have a copy of June 26th yet. Definitely everyone that attends, including management, staff, will get a copy of what transpired. But if there's anyone else out there that was not able to attend due to working conditions, or perhaps they're not feeling well, somebody let us know. I'll certainly get them a copy.
I got a question before you get too far.
Okay.
What is this committee deciding? Stuff all of us?
No.
Let me read you our mission
If it is,
statement.
then we all should get a copy. If you're trying to decide all of us.
No, we don't make any decisions. Exactly, and we agree with you, but we basically, we're the complaint department.
Yeah, so we should all know what's going on.
Exactly. Just a moment, please, let me finish. We have no views, we make no decisions.
So why do you do this?
I'm sorry?
Why is this even a thing?
Because the activity board has been, most folks in past have been going to the activity
You
board
get
with
your box,
complaints.
right? You get
I'm
a
sorry?
box. You're getting a box, right?
Just
You
let,
got a suggestion on it, and you got a.
I would love to answer your previous question, and then I'll get to that question. And they have stated numerous times in the Informer, in their activity board meeting notes, that they are not the complaint department.
So
To
now there's
please
no box.
forward your complaints to,
Shut
Who needs a
up.
department for
Hey,
complaining?
let her speak.
Yeah, just finish.
Let her speak. After she's done, you can make your own.
There are a lot of us that are hard of hearing. We can't hear you. Thank you. Thanks.
Who is that guy?
Trying to take the guy's livelihood away, that's why I'm here. And that's bullshit.
What?
I always agree with that.
You don't know what you're talking about.
what are you talking about? What guy's like?
Maintenance, what's this crap about his maintenance? You wanna know his scope of work, and if you need another outside company. This guy's doing a great job. Why are you going after
Excuse me,
this
sir.
guy? I care about this guy's job, and that's the reason I'm here. Stick your box up your ass. I'm sick of this bullshit.
Okay, first
I'm
off,
done. That's it.
okay.
Yeah, thank you. Shut up.
You're joining this committee. If you refuse me, everybody sees I asked.
No, there's
What the hell? Dude, shut
First
up.
off, Equity Lifestyles does not work for me. I do not have the power,
This
the
is
authority,
asshole.
the
Then
scope
stop it.
to delete
Make
someone's
suggestions
job.
and go with it.
How about one person speak at a time, and that way you can.
Thank you.
You guys don't know where I stand.
Hi. Who the hell are you?
I'm on this committee.
See you later. That's the one that
I
looks
would
like
love to
Bill.
respond to your questions.
We don't-
I have no idea who he
Let
is.
me reiterate.
He lives next
Equity Lifestyles does
who?
not work for me.
next to Gail. We're both
I do not
Oh,
have
that's
the power
him?
to tell anybody to get rid of
No
somebody's
wonder.
job, throw somebody out of the park. Neither do these ladies. Nor do we want to. Nor do we
No.
want to. The purpose of that statement, which was, I do have it in front of me.
I understood what it meant.
Yeah, let's get to the point.
The purpose of that statement was to find out the limitations
Exactly.
in Richard's job description, because he has been asked, and the generous and kind man that he is,
Yeah.
to do things, as he's told me, outside of his job duties, or things I realize are outside of his scope, what his job description is.
What's
He's
that
very-
got to do
just a
with
moment,
you?
please, just a
What's
moment,
that
please.
got to do with you?
Just a moment.
What did-
There was a statement in the June 5th meeting minutes, which were posted, that said something like, what are his job responsibilities? And at what level does some of his job responsibilities have to be contracted out due to monetary
Still, it
constraints?
don't
None
make
of your
sense. What's it
business.
got to do with you?
It wasn't necessary to be.
That was a question brought up at the meeting.
They should go to the
What are the
office.
limitations?
Go to the office and
Okay,
manage.
I can't control what the residents ask, okay? So it was a question, at what level is it monetarily, he can't do because it exceeds a threshold.
Go to Vicky or go to him himself.
I can't control what the residents ask.
Well, then
They
why
go to
is
the
it
office and
correct?
talk to management.
And that's what we told them, we put it in the meeting minutes because it was brought up. Everything that's brought up here goes in the minutes to the best of our
And
memory
we
and
can
ability.
eliminate you altogether, but just having the boxes.
It had nothing to do with eliminating Richard or
We can
eliminating
eliminate
that
you.
staff possession.
We can
Position.
eliminate you by this, but just getting the
What?
boxes in there. For all the complaints we
talking
get, we don't even
Well,
need
I was asked to explain, so I'm explaining.
Yeah, so
So your
listen.
position is just safety, basically, for the community,
No,
nothing
no, no.
else.
Not just safety, any resident complaint or issue that anyone wants to bring to this committee.
But it shouldn't be staff. Staff should not go to you. People that are working here, that should go, that's not your call.
I'm sorry.
No, the complaints about staff should not go to you, they should go to management.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be your responsibility to address that. That's what I'm
Complaints about
saying.
me?
The committee, your committee.
Oh, well, no, we never told anyone what they should or should not say. It's completely open. Whatever you want to say, you're more than welcome to say it or not. Whatever the residents say is, this committee again was formed because the activity board stated they are not the complaint department, will not take complaints, will not forward complaints. A few of these ladies got together while walking dogs and said, hey, the activity board has stated they're not the complaint department. Why don't we form a complaint department for those residents that don't want to identify themselves with management? We could be, hey, these residents, anonymous, brought up these issues. We present them to management in writing. We request an in-writing response. We post those responses to resident issues. Nobody has to attend. If you want to attend, that's fine. Tom?
Okay, we have passed on concerns from the activity board to the office. Every month when we have a meeting, we do a conference call with Vicki and we express the concerns and stuff that are brought up to us. And we put in an informant that we did not back to our committee, mainly because of the way it was handled and the way it's going about and questioning Vicki's authority to work here and Rich's and stuff like that. And the complaint should go to the office, not to us, not to you.
Right, the
So-
complaints are funneled to the
But-
office because the activity board
That
has
is
stated.
why the board said that.
Just a moment. We never questioned Vicki's authority, Vicki's responsibilities, Vicki's ability to do this
That's-
job.
But that's the way it came across.
That's the way it came
Yes,
across.
very much
The way
so.
you got it printed.
The question was, what is the threshold before Vicki or park management has to submit it to corporate?
And
It's none of
the-
your
And we-
business.
I'm sorry?
It's none of the committee's business, none. That's up to Vicky and corporate.
Exactly. There it is, this is their business.
Well, why don't we ask corporate?
Hold on just a moment.
They're sitting right there.
You guys, let's do this as a meeting, let's still not talk over everybody. The other reason why we objected is we got blindsided. Vicky got blindsided. We had no idea until you put it in the informer
Okay.
that this is coming on.
My question to you is, why does a resident have to run by the activity board the formation of any group, whether it's activity or not?
Exactly.
Because we normally the ones who are responsible for what goes in the informer.
No, I don't think it was.
Vicky is, but she got blindsided too.
No, I went to her and asked her permission if I.
Anyways.
Excuse me, Vicky was not blindsided. I went to her and asked her permission before the informer was typed up asking her if I could put in a blurb about a new group forming. And she said, what kind of a group? I said, well, the activity board has stated in writing they are not the complaint department. We would like to form a complaint department. She said, fine, go ahead.
Okay.
I then typed up the informer and added that blurb. Again, I don't understand why the activity board is in charge of knowing what every group is
Yeah.
formed here. Did you complain about the ladies' aqua fitness class that was formed? Or ask about it?
Yes, we did. We said, why is it only open to the ladies?
Form your own.
Say that again.
Why
want
is
one
it
for
only
men.
open to the ladies? Because a lady came up with it and thought it would be a good idea for the ladies to have a fitness class like it used to be.
So, okay, let's hear, let's move on and hear from why we're here.
I have another question.
Oh,
If Vicky's putting up a box or complaint or whatever, why do we need you?
Because that box, as I understood it, was the
I'm
activity.
not saying that, no, I'm not
I
saying
asked
that.
Vicky.
I'm saying, why do we need your committee if Vicky is putting up a box?
I didn't gather statistics on how often that box was used.
I personally myself, I think you guys ought to just forget your committee because it's causing nothing but riffraff and trouble. And that's my opinion.
Agreed.
I don't like it. I don't like your committee. I don't like what you stand for, and I don't like what you bring.
What, we don't stand for anything.
What do you mean you don't stand for anything?
We take in residents' complaints.
Well, so is Vicky gonna take in resident complaints?
And I think another reason that we thought about was because Vicky was overwhelmed.
If Vicky needs help, Vicky will ask for help. And I'm sure she won't.
I think, let me just read the mission statement to you, and I think
Listen.
maybe it will clear a little.
Let's just move on and hear what we have to
The
say.
mission state- the mission state was to create a vehicle to foster transparent and result-oriented communication and accountability between community residents and Fairview management in continuing improvements of the Fairview Manor community. There's nothing in there that we're taking over anything. It was an ad hoc group. We asked for people that wanted to participate in the committee. The committee is for transparent communication. It happens that, yes, we do receive the complaints that have been expressed individually, complaints that have been expressed to management, complaints that have come across. One of those, and I'll just point something out, one of them was the ramp for the swimming pool. That's been a complaint or an issue that I've heard since 10 years when I first came to this court. And I've heard it from different people. But what we're doing now is trying to get that open communication, and we did get Vicky's consent to do this activity. It is an activity. It's like an activity exactly like how the activity board meets. They do a function. We don't question their function. They're very capable people within this environment to be able to make the decisions that they make, to have the activities that we have that we all enjoy. Now, secondly, as far as the CRC, again, it's a committee that is open to everyone. We're trying to do the best we can by providing minutes of every meeting, by taking input from those that are in attendance. If you don't want to participate, absolutely, you have every right, like every other person in this group, either to join the activity committee, but I think there's elections, am I not correct, for the activity committee?
There's an election coming up.
There isn't an election for this group. This is a group where you come if you want, and if you don't have to. There are a number of issues, and you've all explained the issues. We are also looking at issues of individual and personal accountability that will also help the party. Some of you were here last time. We talked about dog poop not being picked up. We talked about resident areas where there's trip hazard, things like that affect all of us. When we're walking, we don't want to step on the dog food. We talked about issues of possibility having more notice about getting when the electricity is going to get off or when it's going to come out. That is not putting a finger at anybody. It is basically getting that answer to the community that lives here. And it's from the group of individuals back to management, management to us, and that can have that open dialogue. That's what the committee is about. And what we said also, if this committee is not working, on those of us that are participating, we don't plan to extend it forever. We will reevaluate. We will take your opinions and your concerns. But we really, I'm sitting here and I don't want to be, you know, what is it, a dartboard. A dartboard. I don't want Tina to be a dartboard. I don't want June to be a dartboard. I don't want Judy to be a dartboard. I don't want any of those ladies that thought this was a good idea. Again, it's your input. We receive your input. We don't make up anything. And anything as far as staff, we know the difference between what is staff and what management controls and what we can ask as a question. I think those of us have been experienced with that. We know the difference. We understand your concerns. I'm a resident here. She's a resident. She's a resident. We all live here. We all should have some input.
They don't wanna be a dartboard either. So what-
We're not being dark, it's open, excuse me, it is open communication. What I'm saying
Let's
is
move on.
communication.
What's your minute?
Yeah.
I think that you should rewrite some of the stuff that you put in the informer then, because you're misleading the whole community as far as I'm concerned.
I'd like to take the floor. I see a lot of you are new. I've been here 10 years. I was in the activity committee. We were part of it, what this group is doing and what your group is doing. We were together, and when there was an issue, whoever could take care of it would do it. But what I see here is attacking 3 people that want to help you, but you are fighting reasons why they shouldn't help you. If somebody came to me and wanted to help me, I would be happy. But I hear all these negatives of you. No, 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 no. And you don't even know what's going on, and that this board was like that before. They had a group and they had people that took care of events. So, you know, think about it. Why are you attacking them? Think. Find out more about it.
Hi, I'm Debbie, and I think Vicki does a terrific job. I've been here for 15 years, and I don't have any problem communicating with Vicki with my own mouth. So from what I understand, and I talked to Tina yesterday, is that you're supposed to take a complaint.
And Vicki thought, sure, no problem. We can install it permanently. I said, well, that's a great idea. Again, at that time, that was the activity board box, and as I've said, and as you've all read several times in the Informer, in their activity board notes, they have stated they are not the complaint department. So therefore, that's how the box for complaints came about.
And that's a good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Let Vicki take it from here, that eliminates the committee.
One thing, yes, because one thing that you put in the informer that the complaints that you get, you would reverse to her, you would give her 5 days to reply. That's
That's
all
wrong.
right.
Maybe
That's
they just
exactly-
need
But not
something
5
to do.
days. I went to Vicki and asked her if 5 business days was enough time for her to respond to complaints. She completely agreed with that.
It's not
Now,
always.
crochet hook or something.
granted, there are some days.
Vicky now.
I'm sorry.
I said that's not always feasible. She's got
That's right.
other things to do.
And as I was going to state, as we all know, some things are bigger than others. You know, hey, can you change a light bulb? Okay, that's not gonna take 5 days. But something else may, well, take 5 days, you know.
More.
The pool, for example, last minute had to be drained. That took more than 5 days. But she agreed to the 5 business days. If Vicki does not want to agree to that anymore, she'll let us know. And we'll put it in our notes.
But why should we have to run one of you 3 when?
You don't
We
have
don't.
to. This came about because the activity board said they were not the complaint department. And obviously, there was a reason for a complaint department.
Why would
And
we
it's
keep
so
Let's
it?
move on
Why
and
do we
let's
keep
actually
it
hear from
complaint?
everybody.
One moment, Tom.
Because shit's not getting done.
The stuff
Because it
they
didn't
want
for
from
so
the pool to
long.
live
That's
or
why
whatever
it's
it is.
Vicky. Well,
How many are gonna use that, and who's
Let's
gonna
hear
pay
from
for it if we all will?
Well,
pay
and
for it?
Tom just said, quite a few
think they're
people
just
use
boring.
pool rent. There are, I don't know how many, but maybe half a dozen that I'm aware of. that have mentioned, you know, it'd be really nice to have a pool ramp so we can get in the pool, we can't get out of the pool.
Here,
That's how
here,
that came
here,
about.
here.
And as you heard Tom just say, he just said quite a few people would use a pool ramp. His words.
But who's paying for it?
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, that's what I wanted. I'd like to ask corporate. No.
They'll pay for it in the long run, because whatever corporate costs corporate, why then they come back onto us and it reflects into our rent and all of that stuff. So we, the people, will pay for all of it.
Well,
And that isn't
actually,
right.
I have an answer. That question was brought to Vicki after the June 5th meeting, excuse me. And that was a specific response, that I met with her before June 25th, 26th, and asked about the handicap ramp for the pool. And Vicki's response was, no, there will be no ramp, cost is prohibitive at $10,000.
What? Come on.
$10,000.
So,
Crazy.
our response to that among this committee here was that we would investigate further and see if we could find similarly comparable quality, Better Business Bureau companies offer options. Never want to say no, offer, maybe we can find an option that's not $10,000 or $8,000 or $6,000 or whatever.
But do you realize
Look.
that whatever corporate puts out, brings us into a better community, somebody has to pay for it.
Right.
And that would up all of our rent, you know that as well as I do.
right.
Everybody's already striking about the rent now.
Yeah.
I asked one question about that as far as how the rent increases are formulated. I was concerned about that.
Yeah.
Vicki, I asked about that. How she said rent increases are formulated is by market value, market rate at the time that your lease comes up. And that's the way it is. So obviously the market rate for a comparable park of this size or of this number, whatever the ranking would be, would give you a market rate. And let's say that my unit is $500 right now, I'm just throwing those out. And market rate means that there would have to be an increase of 10% to get my unit to market rate. Well, you know, 10% increase would make 10% of my 500 would make it go up to what, 550. So again, that's the way it's done, not because of the improvements, and I'm looking to you to nod yes or no, not because of the improvement, not because we did asphalt on the streets, but the market rate. That's what's going on. And if you have questions, your rent went up or whatever, you can ask Vicki again. That is, again, their purview. So understanding that, we can ask those questions of why the lights are out or whatever, that will not increase your rate.
All right.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah, I'll talk to him myself.
Any of the electrical work that was done, none of us are paying for
I
that.
have to do that.
We're gonna move on.
Yes, let's move on.
So I just want to say that a committee such as this committee over here is very common in this type of community, okay? So the committee that they're trying to put together is not unusual. What I would like for them to do is remove the verbiage complaint department.
Yeah.
They should not be the complaint department. There should be a committee, separate from the activities committee, that works together in conjunction to help Fairview Manor run smoothly, and help take some of that burden off of Vicki. But they should not be the complaint department.
Yes.
However, what you should do as a committee, what the other committees do in some of my other communities, is they work with Vicki and I try to be at almost every one of those committee meetings that I can. And I have 14 properties all over Arizona, so I try to get to as many as I can. But what they do is they have meetings just with the management, sometimes with maintenance, and go over capital projects that are in the works or that we're trying to get approved, concerns that they see around the community, just anything that y'all want to talk to management about, not necessarily complaints, because that's why we have the box. The box is going to be specifically for complaints. or anything that you wanna bring to management's attention. If you don't wanna use the committee, you can use the box.
Let me ask you a question. There used to be an assistant for the manager. That would take a big load off of Vicky and eliminate this
We're
situation.
hiring, yeah, I am,
We're hiring.
They're hiring.
There's a job rec
Gotcha.
open.
I like working by myself.
No.
Gotcha.
No. She knows work, we have a job rec out there.
Just-
Anybody
Just
that's
curious, so.
looking-
I think we need to have another maintenance person. We need 2. When I first moved here, there was 2, and they had an actual truck.
And neither one of them do that much work. I've been here that long.
Well, so what? But
Okay, so,
you can do
just-
things that the other one can't.
Air on this committee. I'm not against this committee, but I would like to have a different conversation with Vicky and me and you all and get your direction, in the right direction of how we need you, where we need you out in the community, what we need from you, and what kind of communication we're gonna have. The complaint department is not your department. I want to just make
Well,
sure.
one of the things, and I want to clear some things up here too, regarding that one of the things that, about the complaint box, that came and also the anonymity of having a complaint box if you wanted or and what was discussed at the last meeting, and there were some claims and complaints of individual properties. From this, we decided, no, we would not handle those complaints, those issues, because that needs to be direct to management, directly responded from management, that we don't want to be cops. That's not something, and the name of the committee, and I want to clear that up again, was community relations. What does that mean? That back and forth with the park. So it didn't become a complaint, it was a complaint of individuals, we don't want to deal with that. But there are issues that are specific to the park that relate to all of us. Like block, I mean, we consider that a complaint, but it really is an issue. And there's a difference between an issue and a complaint. And we really want to deal with issues. The complaints, definitely. We thought that over from the last meeting, that came about to say, no, complaints for the complaint box, issues about the park that we all are discussing, issues, an issue, and I'm gonna go back to the pool, because it's right there. An issue of the rec, that involves, all of us wanna use the pool. The issue of the electricity, when is that gonna be completed? That involves all of us, because we get power outages. Those are the difference between issues, or Tom Jones over there has junk in his yard. No, that's a personal, that's a thing that we don't want to get involved with. It's the relations of the whole community, what affects the whole community, and I think that separation and that issue, certainly, the complaint box will take care of that, and that's what we anticipated also.
Okay,
So it is
that's the
communications.
direction, so that's the direction that Vicki and I are gonna take with this group, is that we're gonna hit on high level things with them. Our budgets for 2024 coming up, we're gonna be, working on our budget, we're gonna be asking for capital items, and a lot of that feedback is gonna come from you all in this group, and we're gonna look at the community as a whole, and we're gonna see what we need to ask for. We don't make that decision. We have an asset management division that does that. We have regional senior vice presidents that make those choices. We ask for everything. We ask for the world, and hopefully we get part of it. So we're gonna put the ramp in our ask for 2024, and we will communicate those high-level things with this group, and then when they meet with y'all, they can share with you our meetings, and that's where this group is gonna be the best asset for communication. Because that way, we're not having to tell Vicki's not gonna tell every individual person how our budget meeting went, what are the things we asked for, what was actually approved, what wasn't approved. All high-level stuff will be communicated to them, and then they can communicate it to you. No complaints need to go to them. Complaints need to go to Vicki. Y'all can get my email. You can send them to me. You can put them in the box. We can communicate that way for any complaints. So that's how this is gonna be structured from today on.
So far, there's a no on the pool.
I'm sorry?
So far, there's no on the ramp for the pool?
There's no what?
No, it's a no on the
I
ramp?
don't have any answers because
Oh,
we haven't asked for it yet.
Oh, okay.
We have
And the budget.
The 2023 budget was approved last.
Right, okay, I just was curious,
Fourth quarter of 2022.
because I would sure like to use it, but I can't get out of
Yeah.
it.
So
It's
we're
all
gonna
new
gather, so this is how it goes. We gather 3 bids, we submit it to our asset management team, and then they decide. Okay, so it's not something that just has nothing to do with your rent, has nothing to do with, it's just, we ask for the world and we put it in priority, you know, what we think would be the best for this community, what would be the best suited for these residents. We take feedback, and we'll ask for everything. We'll ask for everything that you guys want, and then we'll just hope for the best, and we'll communicate with you what was approved, what wasn't approved. There's projects, like the road project is usually like a 5-year project, so there's this, you know, for 5 years, we're gonna be working on the roads, and we'll share that information. So anything that comes down the pipeline from our asset management department will be given to this group, and then they can share it. And everything will be in writing, everything will be in black and white. So if you need for Vicky to share it with you, you don't wanna come to the meeting, you can't come to the meeting, we'll share it. It's not a secret, it's never a secret. Okay?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I have something to say. You're talking about complaints about personal residents?
We're not doing that.
No.
They are not gonna take complaints. There's going to be a complaint box that Vicky is gonna have installed, and there will be these papers near it. You take it, you fill it out confidentially, you stick it in the box, and Vicky and I will review them once a week.
Okay.
And we'll get back with you individually.
In regards, I worship on Saturday. I play piano. Does that bother the residents around here?
That is something we can deal with on a one-on-one. That's not something we're going to handle in a meeting like this.
You know, I'm not doing it just because do it real loud, you know.
We can discuss it on a one-on-one.
What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to look out for me in my home.
And that is what you would put on this, and then we'll discuss it with you in
So
private.
if somebody will complain about me, playing music,
If somebody's complaining about you, we're gonna pick up the phone and call you first.
you guys will see into that?
We will call you and we'll have a conversation about it. Yes.
I think what you proposed is great, and I'm in support of that.
Go ahead, I'm
We're
sorry.
talking
Yeah.
about issues, our citizens, for maybe 10, 15 years, we've been talking about a second dog park.
If you need a second dog park, bubble it up to Vicky and we'll put it on the list.
Okay, I'm saying it now.
Well, I'm just gonna remember this because I have a whole day of calls, but if it's in writing and you let me know, then when we go to do our budgets, we're gonna start them in August, September timeframe, we'll add it to the list.
Just so everyone knows, if you try and call Vicky around this time on a Thursday, she's on a corporate call to corporate.
Every
Thursday.
Thursday from 10 to 10:30.
To 11-ish.
We have a call, we have a
Right.
manager call.
Vicky could attest to this, because last week, when she brought the campers and hot dogs over for the 4th of July, she was having trouble opening the door.
Yes, she was just telling me as we walked in. I told her already. As we walked in, she told me, so.
So if they're replaced, it would be nice to even have a window so we can see someone after eating something. That's all.
Agreed, and those are the kind of things that we need to put in our 2024 budget.
Well, we need those doors that automatically open for people like him.
100%, 100% agree.
Absolutely.
When you purchase stuff, are you also looking at alternative financing for like ramps and stuff like that?
We don't finance anything, ELS is a publicly owned company, and
Right.
we do cash for everything, for the most
Because
part.
there are some organizations that will help with stuff like that too.
Yeah, because we're publicly traded, we can't do that. We have investors in the stock market, things like that, you know, are invested in these communities, but our projects are all cash.
Okay.
So, and it's all in an asset management bucket.
Okay. I just wanted
Well,
to-
I have a question. So speaking of that, even in, being that it's a publicly traded, I've lived in places I've rented most of my life, and I have never lived anywhere that raised the rent every single year. The rent has gone up $200 in the 13 years I've lived here. When do we get a break?
We've also not had a housing crisis like this either. So if you look at the housing market in Arizona, or all over the United States, actually, housing is going up like crazy.
That doesn't mean anything to me,
Well, it's,
because
our rent goes up with the market.
I'm on a fixed income, like a good number of people here. Yeah, so when do we get a break? They wouldn't even give us a break over COVID.
No, I don't think rents went up over COVID.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I wasn't here, so I don't know, I can't say, but.
That's what we need, is the rent to be stopped for at least a year. At least. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely no say in that. I have.
But you can tell them, you can convey that. Well, I'm just sick of greedy people. It's sickening. They don't even care.
We've had trouble with our solar machines. We got rid of one, and now the other one's broken.
With the washing machines?
No, solar.
Oh, solar machine?
Who gives a fuck about a soda machine? I want my rent stopped for raised every
It's a
freaking
buy
year.
machine and stock it up if we want to. Is that feasible, or is that?
My boss hates soda machines, so I'm not gonna bring that up because he'll want us to remove them.
Okay, because I know
That's just my advice.
So it's a personal thing.
I would get with the vendor. So you can change vendors, so if we need to change vendors.
So which one is that? Is that Coca-Cola machine?
Coca-Cola is still saying it's out for 3 months.
Yeah, we used to have Coke and Pepsi, which are two different companies. They took the Pepsi out. and
Because
that's
it's
what
Well,
they
usually it's one vendor that brings
Then
those
go to the
in,
store and buy some.
and we make no money off of them at all. So
Right.
we don't profit, they're a completely separate entity, we just allow them to use the space, and it's just a benefit to you guys. We don't manage it, we don't monitor it, we just allow them to bring in their machines, and it's just a benefit for you guys. We have no say. If you wanna call the vendor and.
Rich, didn't you say that guy came on, that Coca-Cola guy was here that morning at 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
He's been coming regularly though.
Like 3 weeks ago, right?
Yep.
And it's not working again? You gotta slow down your last night.
He's got a Coke.
On the 4th, it was still not working.
Me, I could give a fuck about a pop machine. I don't care.
Bringing up people keeping their yards up.
Well, that you take it to Vicky, and she knows. I mean, I've complained about 181 numerous times.
I'm not gonna bring it up here.
No.
It's a stupid thing to bring up.
Yeah, that's not the point of today.
I know this is another big concern, is the speed bumps.
There's only one, right?
No.
There's two.
They've actually busting speed bumps all the way up and down.
All the dips we had out there used to be speed bumps.
Yeah, we had to take them out. So the only speed bumps that are allowed are by the front entrance. Otherwise, we don't keep them in the park.
Okay, the top one is fine. People with wheelchairs and walkers could go by it. Vicky saw how I had
That
to
second one we do, Rich,
Just
maybe
move
we
it
can take
over.
those out and maybe move that over,
Right.
probably at least another foot, if there's
6
still
inches.
space.
6 inches would fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's doable.
And that way, there's room for people for Wheelchairs, walkers, bicycles.
Yeah, that second one seems to be the issue, but not that first one seems to
No,
be.
the top one,
Yeah.
I go right around. The other one, I have to go halfway, and that's a big joke.
Yeah, we can fix that.
Thank you.
All right.
On the speed limit signs, can we put them up to regulation height for, instead of down low?
The speed bumps?
No, the speed signs.
Street signs.
The
The
speed limit sign.
Speed limit signs.
So the signage at this property is on my list.
There isn't too many speed limit signs, and they should be
There's lots
posted
of,
everywhere.
there's lots of missing faded, outdated signs here. That's on my list. We started getting rid of it, and that's definitely 100% gonna be on our 2024 budget, 100%.
Like yield signs.
Serious signage here.
Is the,
Street signs, we need stop signs, we need laundry room signs, we need all of that.
and you make a map to the park that you are here, kind of thing? That would be awesome. Thank you.
Raise your hand.
I know, yeah.
Being civil is not part of this deal.
Speak up, because I don't want to.
Go ahead. Whoever.
There are three things that